The following is a production of MSGPR, the source for all your Lufkin Panther media.
Welcome, Lufkin Panther fans, to another segment of our Lufkin Panther Coaches Show. Today we've got Coach Todd Quick, head coach of the Lufkin Panthers. Coach, welcome. This is our, third year to do this?
Third year.
I believe. And I think we ought to have it figured out by now.
Ought to be smooth.
Yeah, there you go. Usually, Coach, we do this the first week of school in anticipation of that first game. We're doing this a week later now. We have that first game behind us, and so we ought to have a little bit more concrete information that we're going to talk about today. First off, great spring practice and into the fall practice. And once again, I want to tell you, I appreciate you letting us come out and talk to the coaches individually. I think our fans really like that. Got a lot of good comment, got a lot of good feedback from that. So I appreciate you for allowing Lufkin Panther TV to do that.
I tell you, we had a lot of fun with that in the locker room.
I heard
also.
You did.
It was great.
I'm glad you brought that up.
As soon as it was online, it was played in the coach's office. So we did some critiquing and some correcting. Then it was a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, a coach's job is to be probably in that public eye.
Yeah.
And so it probably is probably good criticism. Even though it was friendly heckling.
It wasn't. Some of it wasn't very nice, but it sure was funny. So
okay.
It was good.
Well, great. Hey, new year, new set of kids. Man, is there a new set of kids?
Yeah, we were young.
Lots of new faces out there. A lot of new names that we're having to learn. You want to expand on that a little bit? Where we are, and of course, we graduated a lot of seniors last year.
Right. Yeah, we had 37 seniors graduate last year, and we've got 27 this year. But I think and people will know those guys, they'll remember their names, but the young guys, the 6 sophomores that we have playing, and even from last Friday night, they're going to know their names just because they are very athletic and they're in the high-profile positions, and they're good football players, but they're going to make mistakes, and we just have to keep correcting and get them where we want them to be. But overall, the kids really like each other. They are hard on each other, but it matters to them what the guy next to them thinks about them. And when you have that, when you want to do good for the guy next to you, it helps a bunch when you're out there on the field and it's third down or fourth down, whatever it be. So it's a good thing to have.
Coach, walk us through the different aspects of the team as far as offense, defense, special teams, and really the roles that how you see, we're not talking X's and O's today, but how you see that continuity meshing up to create the character of a team.
Well, let's start with offense. One of the things that, has to gel first, and it usually takes the longest to really get, is the 5 offensive linemen. We've got 3 seniors in the middle. We've got Lazarine at center, we've got J.J. Johnson at one of the guards, and we've got Roderick Arthur at one of the guards, and those 3 guys are seniors. On the edges on both sides, we have 2 sophomores. We have Jamal Arthur, which is Roderick's brother, and then we have Hollis on the other side. So, their job, those 3 inside guys, it's their job to make sure those two young guys stay focused and they help them through the process during the game. But first and foremost, they have to do their job first. And that's the one thing that we talk about with the seniors and the older guys. They understand they're going to mentor and they're going to be those guys' help, but they have to take care of their job first. And Friday night when Ellis is running up the middle and everything, those 3 seniors is where we're attacking. And so I felt like they did a pretty good job there. But those 2 outside tackles, they're coming, and we'll get it to where we want it to be by the end. Receiver-wise, we lost all receivers last year, and we lost a real good one in QT. You don't replace him. You put somebody to play that spot. But we've got some young guys out there. Malik Jackson is pretty much playing the same spot that QT played. And you've got Dalen Phillips on the edge, and you've got KD on the other side. with Jeremiah Davis filling in there. So we've got some young guys there. The one thing that has helped us there is the 7-on-7 that we did this summer.
Right.
And in the tournament, just being able to get the timing down because Cordell played safety last year.
Right.
So through spring ball, the 4 weeks of spring ball and the 7-on-7 really helped them there. I thought Ellis Jackson did a great job the other night of carrying the football. He's not very big, and he kind of gets lost in the mix there and then pops out. So
is there any relation with Ellis and Malik?
Brothers.
Brothers, okay. Got
And so,
couple of sets of brothers.
absolutely. And you got the you got the guard and tackle.
Right, authors.
Are brothers, and then you got the Jackson boys. So, but Ellis did a good job keeping his feet moving, and he broke a lot of tackles there at the point of contact. So, we had some others that came in. You got Smith, you got Dalvin Smith, a big, strong fullback type that we played a little bit at one back.
Kid.
Had a little bit of a hamstring problem, so we didn't play him as much. But Ellis was running good, so you don't want to mess with what's working. So I was pretty pleased. We had a lull. We came out our first drive, looked real good. We went down the field and scored. Converted a couple of third downs and did good. And then we had a little lull there to where we made some mistakes, but then finished the game with a big drive at the end to give us a chance to win the football game. So we'll get there. Kids are working hard, and we'll just continue to correct the mistakes and try not to make the same mistakes each week. We talked to them, yesterday about we don't mind correcting mistakes. That's what we do. But we don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. You got to move forward. And so excited about the offense. We're not where we want to be right now, but we have a chance, and we got the people there that can be real explosive. Defensively, our front four, those are our strength. Those are our seniors. Those are the guys that have been in the mix, and the guys we're going to lean on. And you'll see until they got tired the other night, those guys are the ones that were either allowing the linebackers to make the play or they were making the play themselves. They did a real good job up front. Linebacker-wise, OV is a senior. He's been there 2 years. He'll be a 3-year starter. Had a good game, had 14 tackles. And then behind it, we're young as we can be. But, one of our safeties been running the alley. Savon was one of our sophomores, ended up with 13 tackles. A lot of times if your safety's having 13 tackles, you're getting gashed. But he's making the play on the line of scrimmage, which he's running the alley versus a run team. That's a good thing. And so, those guys, they got a little ways to go, but they're working hard and doing what we ask them to do.
I know Kerry and I went over to the scrimmage at Huntsville, and not sure I figured that system out yet.
Oh yeah, it was a madhouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, but for some reason I noticed your special teams did not get to work at that. And I know that was a disappointment. Any correlation between that and how they perform on Friday night?
Oh, absolutely. There were some highs and some lows of our special teams, but they've got to get out there. We've got young guys too. We got a sophomore snapper. We got a sophomore kicker. Those guys needed to be in the mix before the first game. And that was the one thing, other than us not getting tired at the scrimmage, because you got to get tired and you got to see how you're going to react through that. The first time we really got tapped was Friday night there at the end, and it showed. And then our special teams weren't as good as what we wanted, and it all goes back to not being able to work that during the scrimmage. We'll find somebody that'll scrimmage, that'll do it right, and we'll find somebody that allows us to get what we need out of the scrimmage.
Right. You stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have a new segment. Coach Green and Coach Holman, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and we're going to hear a little bit from them. You stay with us. You're watching Lufkin Panther TV.
You use it every day. So does your neighbor and the corner store. Electricity, that is. Energy in Texas is deregulated, opening up choices for millions of new customers ready to save money on their energy costs. Be on the ground level with this exciting opportunity for financial freedom as an Ambit independent energy consultant. Find out more and sign up today at www.msgenergy.net. That's www.msgenergy.net.
Welcome back, Panther fans. Today we've got a lot of new faces on the Panther team this year, and one of the new faces we have sitting with us here, Coach Holman, defensive coordinator, and we've got Coach Green as well.
And Coach, welcome. Appreciate you spending some time with us today. Coach, why don't you just tell us a little bit about where you come from and how you got to Lufkin?
Most recently from Chapel Hill, where I spent 6 years there as defensive coordinator. Prior to that, I was down in the Houston area for 13 years. Had a stint of 11 years at Durham Hills High School. Before that, I was junior high coach in Humble, from Jacksonville, Texas, originally.
You don't look like that old to be that far to do that much.
Well, I appreciate it.
Coach, what are some of the things that you're bringing in your toolbox to Lufkin for Lufkin's defense?
I guess 20 years of experience more than anything. Had an opportunity to play for 2 state championships, and we were fortunate enough to win one of those. And so, I've been in situations where there's a lot of pressure, and you've got to be able to respond and not lose your head. And that's what we preach to the kids in this day and age. Fast tempo offenses and things like that. If you panic, that's when they've got you. So we try to teach composure and concentrate throughout the whole play, and being able to react to what you need to do.
I know we have Coach Green, offensive coordinator, here with us as well today. Both of you guys have a lot of new faces out wearing the same numbers as in Panther jerseys this year. And of course, they're all new to you.
Right.
So, tell us about some of the players that you've got that's coming up, some of the young guys that you think will be notables this year. Obviously, all 11 of them will be notable.
I think some of them pretty much drew the name for themselves last Friday night. We got some young kids, Malik Jackson.
Yes.
There's going to be Jeremiah Davis. They're offensively and defensively, they're going to be great tools for both of us. As you know, in the past, we've always been 2 platoon type teams where nobody shares, but in the springtime we changed it to where you watch a few of the state championship games last year where you got a middle linebacker that makes 15 tackles and also rushes for 200 yards or 100 yards. That's something that it took us a while to convince Coach Quick, but springtime was big. You got Malik, you got the Jeremiahs, you got the Savon Fields. Those are the ones that we're going to have to put a lot of emphasis on to get back to that level.
I think, of course, normally we do this a week before our first game, first week of school. We're a week later doing it this year, so we do have the first game, the Longview game, behind us already. And I think one of the things that surprised me was a young man that was pretty much, to me, non-existent up to the point was Savon Fields. And he showed up in a big way, running punt back for a touchdown, playing safety, I believe. Yes. And of course, there was a lot of other kids out there. We're going to have to learn their names, but actually, a lot of good plays and a lot of heart out there this year.
Yeah, he played really well. More than anything, I had an idea because I knew he was regarded as a good player, but he played very physical. Had 2 or 3 really big shots. Was around the ball constantly, and of course, on the punt return, made a lot of magic happen there. So we're looking for great things from him. I thought we played well up front at the defensive line. Just in a game like that, in that setting for the first game of the year, playing 75 snaps against Longview, I was very impressed with the way that we continued to fight throughout the entire game.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I made comment to Coach Quick later on. I said, that's probably of course, nobody likes to lose a game, but that was probably the first game I've ever come away from with a loss. It felt pretty good about where we were. I was really impressed. Tell us about the big guys. Everybody wants to know about the big guys up front.
We've got senior loaded on the defensive line. Corey Miller starting up front. We've got Eric Smallwood, Carl Chapman, and then, of course, Bronson Massey up front. Boom, a.k.a. Boom. We're looking for a lot of great leadership out of them. They've been in the fire on Friday night. They understand the level that it takes to compete. And that composure I was talking about, we're looking to them for that, to lead us in that regard, so that we don't play panicked. We're calm and we're focused on our task. So they bring that to us.
Did the guys draw straws for the 375-pound offensive lineman?
No,
He was a load, wasn't he?
pretty much if you ended up on his side, that's where you ended up. That's that's kind of the nature of it. But he was a big dude.
Yeah, he was. Coach Green, you got a lot of new players as well this year, and Devin Smith, one of the running backs, that's one of the names that we did see last year. Other than that, it's pretty much a new ball game.
Everywhere but your interior, we looked up Friday night, and after, you're in our 10 personnel package, there's 7 guys that's never taken a varsity snap for the Lufkin Panthers.
Right.
We got Dalen Phillips. He moved in from Mount Enterprise, going to be a great hand, a junior kid. We talked about Malik. We talked about, J-Boy, Bennett. Hadn't played football since he was an 8th grader.
Really?
Came in as a senior and made a big showing for himself.
That's a contribution, isn't it?
That's what we look for. We sit and talk about, like Coach Holman's, fresh minds. When we look up, we're fairly new, fresh offense. You got Blake Lazarine at center.
Right.
You got
moved over from guard, right?
Jared Johnson. Yeah. No, he played previously. He's a starter for center last year.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Mm-hmm. You got Jared Johnson playing right guard, and those are your 2 veterans. You got Arthur.
Got a pair of authors.
Yeah, I got 2 beautiful authors playing, and we're sitting there talking about my dad-in-law calls their dad sit up behind him. He said he's the biggest cheerleader and proudest dad we've
had
in a long time.
I saw him at the Whataburger afterwards.
Yeah. But you got Ellis Jackson.
Right.
That tailback took very little snaps, and I think the biggest question for me offensively was Cordell Rogers. You knew you had the ability to be the man. But he takes that hit in the jawbone Friday night, and he bounces up, and that was the big question for us.
I saw that, and I said I would get up.
Yeah, and when he got up, we all went, That answered the question: Is he going to have the ability to maintain? And he got better as the game went. And
I don't know if y'all saw this, but a great compliment before the game by Coach King was talking about Cordell, and he said, "I don't know if he's the next Reggie McDeal, but he has the skill set to go there." So I thought that was a great compliment.
And he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing things right now. He took about 15 snaps last year at quarterback.
Yeah.
And you got the mindset that he is a quarterback, but he's just green.
And he did play safety last year.
Yeah, he did, and he did a great job. He did what he was asked to do, but he understands, he's going to be a really good quarterback for the Lufkin Panthers.
How many sophomores you guys got this year that are starting?
I don't know. You can answer that better than
4 or
me.
5?
Offensively, at one point we had both interior slots and both offensive tackles.
Right.
Those were my guys, and pretty much, we've got
one starting
Jeremiah
defensively
Davis
right now.
One of the things that we kind of go
Could be
into
2.
in season, and one of the questions is, what kind of depth do we have? If you get a guy, goes down, if you got somebody there.
That was part of the point of trying to 2-way teach some kids,
right.
To develop that. But we feel good about our depth. We've got some answers to fill some holes, and we needed them the other night. That last drive against Longview, we got pretty wore down after 4 long quarters and had some cramping issues that prop up, because it's the first game and you've only had 1 scrimmage. You're not in full shape that you're going to be later on in the season. And we had some kids that stepped up and played hard for us.
Great. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all taking your time and coming over here and visiting with us. And I know the Lufkin fans will get to know you a little bit better. I was talking to Coach Quick. He says, no. He says, it's time for these boys to get in the hot seat. So here you are, and I appreciate it.
You bet.
Folks, y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back.
Nobody smokes anymore.
Welcome back. We had Coach Holman and Coach Green. It was good to hear from them. Coach, you've got a lot of new faces, not especially on the team, but you've got some new faces calling the shots now too.
Right.
Why don't you talk to us a little bit about some of those people that we'll see on the sideline?
Well, offensively, we're pretty much the same as what we were. Coach Green is still in charge of the offense. But defensively, we've added a new guy, our defensive coordinator, Jason Holman. Coach Holman was able to get in here in March prior to spring ball, which was a huge thing for us because it let us lay the foundation of what we're putting in. Nobody's inventing any new defenses. They may call it something different, but you're either going to play with 3 linebackers, 2 linebackers, or 4 linebackers. So it just depends on what your philosophy is, how it matches up with your kids. The one thing that's good about him is in his package is built to be able to adjust to the kids that we get. Can't recruit, we get what walks in the door. So he, in his package, and in all defensive coordinators that are good, they have the ability to adjust to what you get in the door. So it matched up. The terminology was a little bit different, but him coming in spring ball gave us 4 weeks to get the kids ready and comfortable, and we were real base those 4 weeks. We got what we do, and every good team has something that they do when it gets tough, offensively and defensively. If you've got a team that they have, you can look at film and say, what do they do? They're not very good.
Right.
So we got that put in that 4 weeks, and then as we got into this year, the 2 weeks prior to the school start and everything, we started working the game plan stuff, the addition to what goes with the base. And so him being here then was a huge lift for us, and it gave us something that we could work 7-on-7 too defensively. So they were comfortable with that. But does a great job of teaching. We've got our new guy on defense also, Ralph Thomas. Ralph Thomas played here.
One of the Lufkin kids.
Great player for us in 2005 when he was finished up. He and Dez were together.
Has it been that long?
Yes, it's been that long. And he was at Conroe High School, and we had an opening late and allowed him to come in. So he's been a big addition to us. He played receiver in high school and played a little bit of defensive back for us when he was here. Played receiver in college. But he's coaching our corners. He and Coach Dixon have our secondary. So having that guy, receivers and D-backs, you're going to have a big line there. So having 2 guys there to be able to help and split that up is just a whole lot better, and you can be more detailed with those guys. Some younger guys that we hired a bunch of we had three new guys in the freshman level, and they've done a great job. Some of them may not have been football players, but they were athletes at some school, and they're learning the system, but they are young, they're energetic. We need those with the freshman guys. They've done a wonderful job. Our staff and our coach's office is as good as it's ever been, on the field and off the field, because we spend a lot of time together. We got here at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, we left here about 8 o'clock Sunday night. You're going to have to be able to get along with somebody spending that much time.
Right.
So it's a good mix with the different styles of coaching and how they come across, and we're very fortunate to have these guys teaching and coaching our kids.
How many coaches do we have that are alumni?
Well, we've got Coach Dixon.
Right.
We've got Ralph Thomas. We've got Zeke Fancher.
Right.
That played here. I don't want to miss Coach Bridges. Jamie Bridges played here.
John Tatum now?
Tatum is at the middle school. I'm trying to go through the office here to see where everybody sits, but we've gone through and hired guys that took care of their business. They did things right. They got their degree, and they did what they were supposed to do. And boy,
familiar with the grounds.
That's right. And we've got kids that say, Coach Thomas, you played here, didn't you? I watched you on the highlight tape. Well, when that guy says something, because he was a great player, and Alton was a great player, all of them played and they were good, but those high-profile guys, when that guy says something, they say, I remember watching him on the highlight tape. He was good. He knows what he's talking about. You really hold their attention when you have that. Now, not everybody takes care of their business, but those guys have, and we're very lucky to have them on our staff.
some of the other sports that we have, I know you lost one of your coaches to baseball, Coach Cobb, you know, taking the head coach position there at baseball. And you'll say a quick word about state champions last year, soccer team.
Oh yeah, soccer. They did a great job, and I'll tell you, that was a special bunch of kids. One of our kickers played. You know, he's back this year as a senior. He was a junior last year. You know, we really worked the soccer team hard for our kicking. We've got Coach Mack. We've kind of got that tie between the two, and you know, it's good when kids do two things. People that recruit kids and they want to come in and talk, they want kids that play multiple sports. They don't want the kid that just has one thing and one thing only. So they've done a good job. And he's got a big thing ahead because he lost a lot of those senior kids. And, but our volleyball's going now. We got third in a tournament, a huge tournament last weekend. Played really good. She's young also, but boy, they're flying around. They look good. Our tennis just left today. Headed for the fall tennis schedule, and swim is fixing to start next week. So we've got a bunch of kids. That's right. Cross country's been here a month, running in the mornings, and our meet is fixing to come pretty quick here in the first part of October. So we've got a lot of kids that are doing something now. A lot of kids are busy with the extracurricular activities.
Coach, to kind of wrap things up today, our schedule. We've got 4 home games this year. Couldn't be helped, I know, but you know, last year we had 6. So this year, you know, is the offset of 4. Next week we've got Lee. A lot of things you hear from Lee. Pretty good quarterback. Pretty good, very athletic. Been there. This will be his 3rd year to start. He's real slippery. He's got pretty good wiggle. And so a Longview quarterback that was pretty slippery too. Yeah, you know, they greased him down before the game. Ran pretty good, you know, and but this kid, they put the ball in his hand. You know, Longview's going to hand it off that tailback as many times as they can. But this guy, he's going to take a snap. He's reading every snap, whether he gives or keeps. It's spread, and they're all over the field, but it's almost like triple option. But he does a good job of running the offense. He's kind of hully-gully sometimes, but he's effective doing that. So it'll be tough. What do we know about West Monroe? Don't know anything yet. I'll know a little bit something next week. So. I got you. We're off a week, and then we start district at home, first home game with Nacogdoches. I know there's something to prove there. Big week there. Big week. Not only is the start of district, it is NAC. We got them at home, and we got some business to take care of. I hear you. Then I think we start the flip-flop. I think we have a couple of home games a row, and then we end the season here at home with at Jacksonville. No, we're at the Tomato Bowl. We're in the Tomato Bowl. You might bring a chair. We don't know if there's enough seating, but yes, once we get there, now we have an open week in between the Shreveport games, so settle in and then get on a rhythm, get on a roll through the district, and then see what happens. There you go, Coach. Appreciate your time today. I appreciate it. Folks, stay tuned as we bring these games to you week by week. And if you get a chance, come out to the stadium and root for the Lufkin Panthers. You're watching Lufkin Panther TV.
Connecting your business to the consumer, where should you start? At MSGPR, we specialize in providing you with innovative communication tools that make your name first on people's minds. From websites to print media, advertising, and so much more, our team of experts have you covered. So let us cater to you while you cater to your clients. Visit us online at msgpr.com or call 877-537-8780. MSGPR, we're ready to work for you.